Looking to improve your life, brush up on your personal growth techniques? You are in the right place. Welcome to Life's Little Lessons with your host, author of Designing Your Own Destiny, Kevin A. Dunlap.
Hello, everybody. This is Kevin Dunlap with Life's Little Lessons. And today I have a Daniella Molina with us today. She is a life coach, and she's an absolutely phenomenal woman. I'm just starting to get to know her and just talking with her. She has a great personality, phenomenal heart. She resides in Mexico City, but currently she is in Georgetown, Guyana. And I would love to, this is the first time I've ever interviewed somebody this far away. Cannot wait to find out more about this lady. And I think you guys, I think the audience are going to absolutely adore this woman. Daniella, welcome to the show. And how are you today?
Thank you so much. I'm super excited and really grateful for this opportunity to be with you and to, reach your audience and just connecting with more people.
Well, Daniella, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you? What is it you do? And why is it that you do that?
Okay. Who am I? I believe I am an extension of God's energy and a child of light. And because I've chosen to channel this light and this energy and this loving wisdom that we all have. I am a life coach. I help people, women, men, redefine self-love, self-worth, and so they can feel worthy of having anything their hearts desire and create the life that they really, really want from their hearts. So I find that aligning with our truth is the only way to embrace all of our power. So aligning with our truth is, how do we all have this inner voice, this silent voice that's always telling us, oh, you should go to the left, but then the mind comes and no, it starts analyzing. Mm-hmm. And I started, when I was little, I know I'm not, remember, I'm not blaming, never serves us if we want to evolve, but that's how I perceived when I was little. One of my mom used to tell me, oh, you should let yourself be guided. So you should do what I tell you because I know what's best for you. So I know she loves me like nobody else in the world. But I internalized that as, okay, shut your voice. So what you believe, what you want, it's not good for you. So you should always follow it. Whatever I say or whatever people outside of you say. So that's that's how I process that information, but it became my life's path. So, and my life's purpose. So it right now I'm standing in the gift of that wound. So it was like, if I wanted to study between cooking and finances, because money was, oh, you have to work to get money and to live how you want. And I would go and ask what do you think I should study, this or this? Instead of me accessing my own inner truth and my own, and honoring this voice who always knows what's best for me and what's best for you. And so the biggest thing for me is how to access our own voice and in the honor of that, we really access our own power. Remember, I talk a lot, so just keep me focused.
Oh, that's perfectly fine. So how did you get into life coaching, and what is it that brought you into life coaching?
Okay, so I'm going to try to go fast. When I was 14 years old, I had the privilege. Honestly, this was a huge gift, and I always say God loves me so much. Okay, so my grandfather was sick, and he invited me, for some reason, to the Chopra Center in San Diego when he was before. He was in La Jolla. He had a wellness center. So I remember I went 1 week of the program that he's called Perfect Health. And I remember I had each plate so my food was different from the other person's. My schedule for, the massage and all of the Ayurveda, my aromatherapy, my tea was different from. So I was like, oh my God, we all are unique. We all have this authenticity that we don't have to follow everything like robots. I was like, oh my God. So that week I was like, this is truth. This is truth. So I went back to Mexico and I was struggling because I went in a Catholic school and, all this, oh, you should do this, you should. And I was like, oh my God, I feel such a freak because I feel like I don't belong. I don't blend in. it was a struggle for me. So from that, I bought all the self-help books from Deepak Chopra. And from then, we know all the mentors and the masters. And then I started practicing more yoga. So yoga for me in that week, I remember I was like, yoga, I tried to postpone it. I was like, no, that's for old people, like for older people, like in their 70s. And I remember like first yoga class I had there in Shavasana. Have you ever practiced yoga? Okay. Yes. So at the end, we have the corpse pose, which is all of the energy we moved throughout the movements. It's actually a time where the body knows what to do. So there's like this inner wisdom working already, and it absorbs, it renews, it heals. So I remember like tears were coming down my eyes, and I was like, what? Like, I'm not like in suffering mode or in drama mode. This is like, what are these tears? And they were like gratitude, and there were presence and love and this like whole expansion. So from there, I said, if I can help, or if I can get one person out of 100 to feel this fullness of life, oh my God, that's my life's mission. So then I started, and so I had these two worlds, like what I want to do, this inner world, and the shoulds. Oh, I should do this, and so I still was in the struggle of growing up, and so I finished studying business administration, which if you ask me right now, what did I learn? I can say I learned how to make the best friends in the world, but I don't remember of any class. So, or the calculus and classes that they were really hard for me, and I had to study, but I never was passionate about that. So when I graduated, I was like, yay, I can do, really, now I can do what I love. So I went to India, and this all booming of yoga had started, the wellness had started, the detox had started. This was 10 years ago. And I was like, no. Before, I had the opportunity to establish a wellness center in Mexico, but I said, like, this inner voice talked to me, and it's like, okay, so if you go, you have to go like 3 weeks and then come back, because it's your business. It's your energy. It's your input here. So I was like, no. I want to go and get the depth of the practice, the depth of the healing. Real. It's not about it's not because it's now everybody's doing it and it's fashion and it's cool. No. I was like, no. There's like so much depth so I decided to postpone that, or to hold that for a while. And I went to India. Like, honestly, if you ask me right now, do you want to do it all over again? Never alone. It's a very vulnerable situation. I think it's because I was more adventurous, or I was not such. I didn't have this like awareness of what's going on outside in the world, maybe, or the vulnerability of going alone, either man or woman, just traveling alone in the other side of the world. I went there and had the privilege, like amazing privilege, to practice, and that with teachers that have already left their physical bodies, but they were like their roots that were practicing the physical yoga, like super orthodox, the traditional way. So it was just not like, oh yeah, we're doing this vinyasa, we're doing this hip yoga thing. No, it was the roots. So before they could show me anything, I had to recite this mantra in Sanskrit. So I really had to go into the roots, into the depth, into the inner awareness. And it wasn't just about doing the pose. It was like really going in deep and learning their traditions. So I had huge privilege in that, which I think I still go back to those roots. So it's not about, oh yeah, there's the pose, like all the bodies get into the mold. No. It's about taking out the benefits of the asana, and how can I bring them to my body, no matter what the shape, size, or age of my body. So I can always take those and apply them to whatever I am. So with that, then I went to Thailand, and I learned about proper food combining and detox. and not just about like cleanses. It was like this proper food combining for me was amazing, because when I sat down and meditated, the clarity of mind, like what I was thinking or doubting, it came like in a zap, like boom. So I was like, it's so important how we eat, and that's energy that we're putting into our body. So I started to make this whole ritual in my life. So it was about, yes, prayer or meditation, however you want to access to your gods. It was about that. It was about proper exercise, but the intention before, and what's my outcome. I know I want to feel better, but like everything that surrounds it, it's affecting it. It's not a good or bad way, but it's impacting that. So that for me, when I sat down and after it was like 11 or 12 days of cleansing and juicing and drinking coconut water and eating super clean and applying proper food combining, when I sat down and I started get this just insights, it was one after another. I was like, is this enlightenment? What is this? I was like, oh my God. And it was not about getting this huge idea about this. No. It was about my inner truth. And I was like, oh my God, this is deep and profound. And everything has to do the proper food, what I'm drinking, and the thoughts that I'm having. So everything started boom, this is massive, and this is really good. So so it was amazing how I learned all of that. Then going back to Mexico, and how do I apply it? Going back to my mom's house. It was I was traveling, and so it was now you learn all of this. Now how are you going to apply these tools? There's the lesson and there's the challenge, and let's see how good you are at doing what you know. And it was a process and it's been a process, and I think it will be for the rest of my life of growing up, of maturity, of being more conscious, more aware, of using my head, my mind, to be an instrument of the soul and of my heart, to really can communicate, can deliver, and can realize and create what I truly desire. So that's why I go back to aligning to our own truth is the way to first. This is the first step.
So now with your coaching practice, what is it that you do with your clients? Now that you've learned all of this stuff.
Yeah. So first is there are simple ways, but to accessing to our own truth. So one is through breathing. So it seems so simple, but so sometimes we go oh, so simple, it doesn't work. Or, oh, so simple, I'll leave it to the end of the day. No. First we align. And so we do breathing, deep abdominal breathing, so you can connect and see what's going on, connect with your body, connect with your thoughts. And then, do you want to do it? Do we have time? 3 minutes?
Yeah, we've got a little bit of time, so yes.
Okay, we can do super easy, one of the simple exercises we do. So just okay, we're gonna close our eyes and put our left hand into our belly, into our navel. We're just gonna inhale deeply in 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. Connect your tongue to your palate, and exhale through the mouth. Inhale in 1, 2, 3, 4. Feel your belly expanding. Hold it, and exhale through the mouth. And one more time. Inhale in 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it, and exhale through your mouth. So from that space, and still with your eyes closed, we're gonna go to our peaceful place. So this peaceful place it could be a real place or imaginary place where you feel completely at peace, and it's your safe space. So just let me know when you're there.
I'm there.
Okay, amazing. Try to make yourself as real as possible. So listen to all the sounds of their birds, or you can hear the wind and feel the wind in your face. And from that space, you're gonna invite your higher self. So this is the best version of you. This is yourself walking towards you in its complete wholeness. So in amazing health, totally connected with your inner wisdom, feeling powerful, feeling free, full of joy, loving, caring, giving. So in its full expansion. So when you're there and you have your higher self in front of you, you're going to ask, what is the message you have for me today? What is the message you have for me today? And take a deep breath. Hold it. You connect your tongue to your palate and exhale. And you can ask also, is there anything else for me today?
Okay.
And you're going to say thank you for always being with you and connecting with you more presently. And for the purposes of this interview, we're going to stop right there.
Okay.
Yeah. So what did you experience?
I experienced tranquility as well as some peace of mind.
Okay. So what for me and for most of the clients that we do this exercise that's really simple is connecting to our higher self, which is our inner voice, and it's our soul. And soul speaks to us in an instant. It's like this, oh, I knew it. Is this it's this knowingness. But then the mind comes and it's like, no, what is he talking about? No, right now I have to work on today, or right now I have to fix this thing. But there's like a higher knowing. So it's how to access that and trust that, and how all your answers are within.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because I know you're currently right now you're in Georgetown, and
yes.
You're there you're doing a corporate gig right now as a
yes.
Could you tell me a little bit about what kind of classes do you do?
Sure.
You do yoga and that, or do you also do other things?
Sure. Okay. So this was a 3-week workshop. Usually I do it in 3 days, but but the company could not shut down and go all of the employees to a retreat for 3 days or like a full immersion. So I decided to divide those 3 days it was like 12 days actually. Mm-hmm. And so what we do is always, we practice is the mother of skill, and it's how we develop a habit. So how do we do it? Like, how do we integrate that to being an autopilot? So it was, okay, so what are we going to do first is first breathe, set the intention. Remember, like whatever you're focusing on, you're going to be energizing that. So whatever we say, so we direct the energy. We actually do. If we have employees and we tell them what to do, we're directing that energy. So it's, what is your intention for your life, for your day, for like, what do you want to create? So for us in this self-development arena, it's like everyday language. But for many people, it's like they just like, they think they were just born in that house and they were just had to have that family and they have to have some job. But it's actually what intention they want to create, what intention they want to give to whatever they're wanting. So we did that. We did some energy, that's energy work. And then we did some yoga, stretching. So just like to release the tension, usually like in the joints, we get like congestion of energy. So that's why whenever we're exercising, if you can see like the pores opening and like the sweat coming out, like energetically, like the people who can see clairvoyantly, those are the health rays of our body. So that's how the aura starts like brightening up. If you see like some people that just come out of the gym, they're radiant, they're super shiny. So it's like energetically what happens, like all this like feelings or whatever they have. So like all this not light energy. So it's just like it comes out. So that's a way of cleaning ourselves as well. So we did that, and some of them were like, what is this going to help me? No, like they didn't, but I wanted them to experience the benefit of the practice through the whole 12 days. And then we went into subject of how, like, what is a ritual? Okay, so it's something that you do that what would be sacred and very holy. So what if we could put that word into our lives and make our lives a ritual? So from the moment we wake up and we're honoring ourselves, honoring God, honoring the people who we live with. So really like putting this mind, body, and soul and heart in everything we do. So it's very like, it's a practice of being very, very mindful. And we do that a ritual in order to have like an outcome, in order to receive the blessing of the God that, you believe in. So, so we started with that, and we went into the mind and how like our thoughts affect our feelings, affect our actions, affect our results. Mm-hmm. So like, how could we first, what are we thinking? So how do we observe what we're thinking? Through breathing at first. Okay. So, and then we went into health, because the first pillar is health, for me to have this vehicle in proper state so I can do whatever I want in life. So we went like 3 days in depth into health. So there was exercises, there was like nutrition, there was proper hydration, there was proper breathing as well. There was proper food combining. So it's like a whole bunch of things, and like toxic emotions, toxic people, and it's not about like, blaming. It's how am I, like, I am allowing these things in my life. So how can I transform it into anything that I want to improve in my life?
So that actually sounds very interesting that, at these classes now, you were saying you were doing it for 12 days. So was this like 4 sessions, 4 different events that you're going on, of 3-day events?
I give it in 3 days. So it's an 8-hour day. Okay. So those 8 hours of sessions, I divided it so they could have. So I had 3 groups, and we had like 1 session per day, and it was an hour 45 minutes around. Okay. So and it was actually better because they could digest the information. So it was like a complete immersion, and then you feel like oh my God, it was too much. I did that with that purpose, and also because, as I shared with you before, like the company could not go like, okay, we closed operations, we're going all in a retreat. So they could still get like ongoing, and they have different shifts, some of them, so we could get all of them in the groups, in the sessions. So after we went into that 3 days of health, then we saw finances. Finances for me was a big deal because, even though I went to Millionaire Mind Intensive and I was into the Quantum Leap, but for me it was super difficult to get into that discipline. It was so important to save at least 10% and to have like this, and to know how to manage money effectively. It's like it was a huge turnaround for me. First learning it, to apply it. Oh my God! Like that was like a growth curve. And then I was like, okay, I've saved like 6 months, and then boom. And then I used it for something else, which was an emergency, thank God. But so I had to like really, really practice, be diligent, put the proper value on money that I had to put there, and the proper value on myself and my self-worth, and how to pay myself first. So it was a whole process of inner work and the outer work. So I had to align those two, because in those two, there was inner conflict. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they show us, and they teach us, what you think is what you tend to feel, and then what we tend to do, and then what we tend to have as an outcome, our results. But I knew what I had to do. Sometimes I did, sometimes I didn't. So, but in that sometimes there was inner conflict. So how do I heal that? So we went deep into that self-worth, self-respect, really going into that healing, like on forgiveness, forgiving ourselves into all of these emotions of guilt, shame, unworthiness, not being enough, not feeling that we're not enough. We're always enough. So it was deep work. And So after that was massive in my life that I shifted, thank God, with not much about, because the will, we have so much will, like during the day or during like we can like do a diet so many days, and then we wanted to go all out. And that was like me. Okay, I was like disciplined and savings and doing like my jars or like my effective money management system. But then I was like, and then like this auto sabotage came, and I could like there were days that I said I could have the trophy of self sabotage. Honestly, I was like, if there was like any Olympics in self sabotage, I could win that in the first place, and it was not a nice feeling. It was not at all, because there were like people from outside were like, you have it all to do it, to make whatever you want in life and to thrive and to be successful. And I was like, but there's something wrong with me. And it was about me knowing how to accept whatever mistakes I had, and that this is because of, being human, and that's my purpose. If I would be perfect, I wouldn't be my soul wouldn't have incarnated this body. So it has been a path of making mistakes consciously or unconsciously and unconsciously, and learning from that and have compassion to myself and forgiving myself and expanding my heart and knowing how I can shift from the wound to the gift side. So it's been a process of growth and of depth, and it's not about fixing just the outer world and fixing what we don't like. So it's always been like inside of me. So that's
and I think that's absolutely true, because it is all about your internal world. It doesn't matter how successful you are, but you are going to be your own worst critic. It doesn't matter if it's finances, if it's self-worth or self-values or what have you. I'm glad you're saying that, because you're working on yourself, or as a life coach, you're helping other people work on themselves so they can get past those self-doubts.
Yes. Yes. And those wounds, like, they go so deep into ourselves. And no matter, like, if good things are coming in our way, and if we don't feel worthy or we feel guilt or shame, we're not going to let this good things come into our way, into our life, even though we really wanted them. But there's like this energy conflict, so it's not going to come in. So if we want that, so first we've got to go and have like a full, like we have to dive into ourselves, and sometimes, in other words, say face your fears. But this way, like, seeing all these uncomfortable feelings and embracing them rather than just pushing them away, embracing them with so much love and compassion and understanding.
Thank you for sharing that. Now, how long have you been doing this for? As a life coach, how long have you been a coach?
Okay, 8 years. 8 years now, and 8 years.
Okay. And are you mainly working in Mexico City? I know you're in Georgetown right now, but that was a referral that you got over there. So are you mainly in Mexico City, or do you work all over the world?
No, well, I'm based in Mexico City. I travel often. I love to travel, and I love to give retreats in Tulum, in the Caribbean, in the Mexican Riviera. And but I love to travel. So if I have the opportunity to travel, and thank God for the internet, as I was mentioning before, I coach I still have my clients, and we go through FaceTime or Skype or all of this amazingness.
Yes, because I know our initial conversation was through WhatsApp, just because we were doing an international call. So
yes,
okay,
yeah. So no excuses. We can do it.
Yes, that is, and it's not. And WhatsApp is free, Zoom is free, Skype is free. All this stuff, all the technology that's out there right now, we don't have to worry about time zone barriers or things like that. So, yes. So I had a client from Australia, and so she wanted to start her week super fresh, like with mindset and the alignment and like her steps and her strategy. This was a vice president of a construction company. So for me, it was like, oh my God, it was a huge, it was very,
wow, it was a wow for me. I was like, okay, now we're going into the big leagues of women. I was like, okay, I want to deliver like amazingly. So for me, it was like on a Sunday, like 3 p.m. on a Sunday. And some people are like, you're going to work on Sunday. I'm like, this is no work. This is passion and this is life and this is what I love. So we work out the schedules and it always works fine.
Right. Because you have to worry about time zone differences and stuff as well.
Yes.
So yes, I have a friend of mine. She lives in Sydney, and she hasn't been on the show yet. But she was actually one of the people that, in my book, Designing Your Own Destiny, she made the back cover, for the testimonials. But it's like, I want to interview her, but I think she's 14 hours ahead of us,
yes.
or ahead of my time. So when you're taking on those clients, you have to take into account. You definitely have to take into account the time zone difference.
Yes, but and the other thing that comes up is like, well, it's not the same as when you work, like on physically in the same room. And I can say by experience, some of my best coaching sessions have been on the phone. Like I've received coach and has been like no video because sometimes there's distraction and our eyes are always like, wandering around. So they have been through phone and like full focus on that. So it works.
Okay. Well, I would change the tone a little bit. I can go over some of the other things that I normally cover in my show. So you say you've been a life coach for 8 years. What when you were first starting out, what were some of your early successes? What were some of the things that you saw that saying that, yes, I can do this?
Early successes? Okay, just like, I think not thinking about it a lot. So if anybody like came up and told me or asked me, oh, I have this issue or I don't know how to approach this. But like, well, I learned this, so maybe you can apply it and see how it works out for yourself. And I was like, oh, well, I'm not good enough. I have to have this 10 certifications first. I have to go into with the best, with the best coaches and no, I just went for it. So there was that's a way of getting there and polishing on the way.
Right, because if you keep trying to work on it and trying to perfect it, you'll never get started. So it's just go and do it.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
And what would you say are some of your more recent successes that you've had?
Recent successes, coming over here and just exposing myself to another culture, another language. Just going for it, believing that the focus is not on me. It's not about me. This is not about like, oh yeah, I want them to like me, or I want them to know like how good I am at delivering this or at a yoga pose. No. The focus is on them. When the stage, it's about like turning those lights and focusing on them and the knowingness that it has transformed my life and millions of other lives who apply them. So it's about helping them. It's about serving them. Yes.
And I'm glad you're saying that as well, because I know so many people, and you're kind of just hitting the nail on the head right here. Is people are afraid of getting started. They're experts at something, let's say at yoga or coaching or something like that, but they never get started because they're focusing on themselves, not realizing it's actually about the people. It's about the people in the audience that's receiving it. And if they don't, and the thing is, if they never actually get started, to me, it's kind of like you're stealing from the audience.
Yes.
So
yes. I remember I was in a seminar once. It was Ted McGraw's seminar, and we had to share with the person that was behind us, and they were like, "Well, share one of your greatest fears, like the biggest fear you have." I turned and so there was like some of this self-confidence issue that I have, and probably most women have. I say this because I'm a woman, so I go like. Okay, I was like, okay, you go first. I was like, you go first. I was like, so what are you afraid of? And he was, woman like you. And I was like, but I'm so, I'm so in defense, blah, blah, blah. So then we laughed and so like, you tell me, what's your biggest fear? And I told him, well, not being good enough. And he wrote to me that day, he was like, good is good enough. So he wrote to me, good is good enough. And that for me was like, oh my God, so this is like the baby step to, move on and get started. I was like, okay, so I can work with what I have now. And for me it was like a huge thing, because then later on, I knew what this was like, major personality in South Africa, and he was like, almost like kind of the vice president of, and I was like, but having this little, they're not advices, it's wisdom from other people. And if you apply it, I applied it and was like, whoa, okay, so baby step and little step, and let me work with what I have. There are many people probably that they don't know this, so let me share this, and then let me share the other thing. So it's been that.
Wow. Because I think all of us suffer from what you just said there, that we're not good enough. That's the whole. Because if you're just starting out, or I know for me, by just starting out, I feel like, am I going to be good enough for somebody to, number one, pay me, and then number two, like you just said, this vice president of this company is like, oh my God.
Yes, and so the other huge thing for me was when I was in the vibration, or when I have been in the vibration of not being good enough. So because there's like a vibration of fear and lack and scarcity. Oh, now I have to prove something, and I have to prove how much I know. I have to prove, because I need to feel and get this feedback that I am enough, or that I am good, or that I can do it. But when I shifted from that to I am not worthy because of what I have, of course, okay. I'm not worthy because of what I do. Like, oh my God, all these labels. Oh, life coach goes on the side. Oh, yoga teacher goes on the side. Oh, good girl, nice girl, blah, blah, whatever title. I just put, and I'm just worthy because who I am. Okay, let me go. Like, okay, let's take huge steps backward. And okay, who am I? Who am I? I'm not all those labels. I am just like, I'm a divine being in this physical body. And whoa, so how like unlimited is that power to know? And from there, if we can start from that foundation, that's why like first is aligning with your own truth. And the truth is that we are unlimited, amazing divine beings. So if we start from that foundation, a whole different outcome and reality we can create. So it's been an amazing journey. I can be grateful for everything that I've been to. Of course I could change some things from the past, but still it wouldn't be me today.
Right. Yeah. Oh, then let me, I guess, go into what were some of your biggest challenges when you were first starting out, and how did you get past those? Biggest
challenges. Okay. As I think I mentioned it before. One was thinking I wasn't good enough. So, my YouTube channel, which is about to be, but no. When I lose 5 pounds, no. When I learn the other stuff, no. When I get that super GoPro, the super camera, so it was always outside. When I do this, I will be ready. No. Like first, start with what you have right now. That was one. So not being good enough, and the other one was proper finances, like knowing how to so I was receiving money and how to manage that. So money could, somebody knows. So business could be growing instead of just because I've been the only one who works right now physically. So who delivers what I do. So it was money comes in and then, okay, rent, whatever. And then I didn't have any. So I couldn't put in, I couldn't designate money for the business specifically. So that was a huge part.
Okay. And what about now? Would you be willing to share some of your current challenges or?
Right now, current challenges. Yes, a little bit about technology, which that's systemized so I can learn. There's other thing. It's been a pattern of mine. I want it all. I want it all, and for yesterday. So, I have been learning how to schedule and designate time for building, because then I get desperate. So I have to build in my patient, and I want my result for tomorrow. Mm-hmm. No, sorry, for yesterday. So it's like, okay, plan step 1, step 2, step 3. And I cannot, right now, I can't, it's not about the fans in social media. It's about, okay, how can I reach specifically to those people who I can help, not have just like tons of fans. So more about planning very detailed. So I can, at the end, probably in 5 years, 10 years, accomplish all this supervision. And so it's the supervision into how do we make it real? That's one of my biggest challenges.
Okay. Yeah. And the thing is, you've learned to pace yourself or hire other people if you need technology stuff done, or.
So the other one has been like, okay, ask for help. For help. Like, I cannot do it all on my own. Nobody gets to the top by themselves. So there's been like humility, grounding myself, what's real, what right now is not real, about patience, about proper money management. It's been a lot of challenges. It's not been like, super smooth ride. No, it's been a growth process.
And let me ask you, what about some of your early failures? So not necessarily your challenges, but things that were actually your setbacks, and how did you get past that?
Okay, some of the early setbacks. Asking for help, honestly. Getting either, so I had the opportunity to hire coaches.
Okay.
And get like amazing advice. Probably I cannot reach like the top coaches. I have to be realistic with what's coming in and plan for what I want. But just reaching out and asking for a question and asking for help. And so that's been massive for me, like reaching out to Paul sometimes and say like, okay, this is going on. So how, and he gives me his perspective from outside, not because I'm inside the problem. So I go like, oh yeah, oh, you're so right. It's just like, So yeah, reaching out and asking for help. That's a big one.
And I think that a lot of people fall victim to that. And that's that's one of the first things, even when I do my teachings, some of my trainings, is who's on your team. And that having a team means asking for help. I mean, yes. You're not going to be the expert at everything. You're not going to be the expert at building your websites. You're not going to be the expert at your marketing or your sales funnels or your, or any of that stuff. It's like, noticing where your weaknesses are and hire other people to help you with those weaknesses. Exactly.
Yes.
Okay. And then, what are some kind of fears that you had early on? I know we talked about the setbacks of asking for help, but what were some of your early fears, especially when you were just getting started?
Early fears.
Because I know you just got back from Thailand.
Okay, so here, other people are already doing this. So, I'm not the number one, or I'm not the new one. So people are already doing this. So maybe I'm not needed. So maybe nobody's going to like turn around and like see me and hear me. Another one is sometimes just staying in the problem and knowing that I am my own problem. And all this like ego and conditioned mind, if you want to call it that way, wanting to keep me safe in my comfort zone. It's like, okay, I have 3 clients, and okay, with this I can live. No. It's about expansion. So conditioned mind is a big one there, keeping me, in my safety zone. And
so how did you get past that? I mean, because I think that's going to be a big fear to a lot of the audiences that are listening out there. Is okay, now you're getting started as a life coach. There's a ton of life coaches out there.
No, sorry, I forgot. Another one, a big one. It was like, oh, my life is not perfect. So how am I going to teach or to share if I'm not a millionaire right now? If I am 21% body fat, where like the other, like I want to reach 16% body fat. I'm giving like example, which I don't believe it's my case. Actually, how are they gonna believe in me? So it's about, as I said before, it's like if I would be perfect, I wouldn't be in this life. I'm here to grow and learn and to share the teachings if I have chosen this path of work. So how do I overcome that? First is having this conviction that I am here to learn and grow. So whatever is working, I keep on doing that and I share it. And what is not working, I keep on like digging deep. So how can I transform it? So one of the things that I didn't finish saying before, but like sometimes the victim role was super, super addictive. It was, sometimes it felt so good, just going around and, telling my problems, or I can't solve it, I can solve it. And sometimes it felt like it's addictive. It's like kind of like a weird up thing that we humans have. And I realized that I was getting attention, and because I needed to be seen, I needed to be seen and feel important. So going back to the foundation, if I see myself, if I honor myself, if I value myself, I don't have to demonstrate anything to anyone, and I am not begging for attention. I am not in that vibration. I am giving from another vibration. So it's a different reality.
Okay.
Did it make sense?
Yes, it does. Because I know what you were initially going through. I'm going through myself as well. Is that yes, it's going through. It's actually going through that, and I think that a lot of the listeners out there, or people that may be watching this video, are going through the exact same things that you're going through. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank you. And the other one is like, oh my God, this is only happening to me. This is only happening to me. Like nobody, like, and then when we share our truth and we become vulnerable, oh my God, people open up and it's like, oh, I'm not the only one who's like going through this. And okay, I am more human than I thought. I am more normal, and just like relaxes. Like I start to relax and not put all this like super like demand on myself. So step by step, and that's how the growth process has and the result that I wanted it have become to flourish.
You're exactly right. I mean, you're human. We're all human, and we all go through the same things. So how did you get past that? Was it landing your first client, or how did you get past all those self-doubts?
Well, no. So the funny thing is that, okay, so getting clients, so like the first clients, I always say like God has sat us together. So I was going to on a trip in the airplane, and the girl was just beside me, and I sat down in the I didn't see, so I sat in the other row.
Okay.
And so I wasn't supposed to sit there, but I sat there, and I started talking to this lady, and she ended up being my 2-year client. And she was like, oh, I would, and it was not like, a pushy sales pitch that I was in the airplane doing. No, we're just like sharing, this is what I do. Okay. And then she sent me an email like a week after, and she was like, do you think we could have like a conversation? Because probably, yeah, like I want to overcome these things. I'm like, okay, amazing. And then like in Thanksgiving dinner, there was like a 70-year-old man who had this super successful businessman. And I was talking about life's purpose and fulfillment. I was like, oh my God, like I want to experience some of that, because I've been, accomplishing many things, but I don't feel fulfilled. I feel like, oh my God, what did I do? Where's my life? Where did I, just throw my life away? I just forgot what was the question. But okay, yeah. So attracting the first clients for me was not a problem at all. But then as I said also before, getting into this comfort zone. So now I have the 5 clients. So I can, it's comfy, it's good. I can stay with this. So the challenge for me was how. So first, like, I know what my vision is, but how do I start landing that vision in steps, in strategy, so I can grow? And I know I have only 24 hours during the day. So how many clients can I actually coach and can I actually serve in my most amazing quality because we have like our lives are full of things. And if I want to be in this amazing state of energy, clarity of mind, I know I have to have this ritual, to this practices for me to be able to deliver. And maybe by the fourth client during the day, I'm going to be like this.
Right.
Okay, so I'm tired. I'm not going to have the energy, or to to have the proper energy to each thing. So it was about, I got comfortable with some clients, and then how do I grow from those clients, and how can I manage my time so I can reach more people. Mm-hmm. So there we went into workshops, more people in the same room. Yeah.
Okay. So you how long have you been doing the workshops? I know you're doing one right now, but
so company for 1 year, like corporate companies, for like I've been doing that 1 year, but before workshops, I've been doing it for like 5 years. I started with yoga workshops like 6 years ago, and then they've been becoming like more like, so anything that I start learning and practicing, I incorporate it. So now it's like Radian Wholeness Workshops.
Okay, so you started life coaching 8 years ago, and then like 6 years ago you started the yoga, and then 5 years ago you started doing the actual presentations.
Yes, like the group work. Yes.
Okay, yeah, because that's actually where I'm growing into right now. Myself right now is doing the workshops, and I so much preferred the workshops just because in the same amount of time that you can, let's say an 8-hour day, and then you could take on 8 1-hour clients with no breaks, or you could take on 30 clients, 50 clients in that same time frame. So you're going to have a much bigger effect on the person.
Yes, and some of them they like, sometimes we need special attention, so we need like that time destined for ourselves. And sometimes when we're in a group, like the others person question or problem was my problem as well, so we get it like done more efficiently, and it opens up for vulnerability and humanity and connections.
Well, so we're about to be wrapping up here in a moment. What are any lessons or any lessons that you would like to share with the audience to help them get past their barriers or their blocks?
For me, honestly, spiritual practice, like knowing that we are not alone, that there's a higher source, much powerful than ourselves, that is orchestrating this. So one is like believing, having the spiritual practice, prayer, meditation, whatever works for you, but we need to feel our soul is connected, and it's powerful, and it's strong, and that we're not alone. So I don't know if you have experience, like sometimes you go into like prayer, or like, God, please help me with this situation, or what should I do here? And if we go into like deep prayer or faith, and miracles happens, or the situation gets solved, or somebody comes and just like helps us. Like, okay, so it's like that faith, and I'm just not saying like, oh, just sit down and meditate, but so that have that's your support system. So that is 1. 2, whatever is working for you. So for me, like I can't emphasize enough, like do at least like 5 breaths, like meditate or exercise, get your body pumping blood, oxygenate, drink lots of water. Save at least 10%, whatever you're getting, like money, like save. Like this is so important, self-worth and self-respect and self-honoring your time devoted to work. And so foundations, going back to foundations, self-love and self-worth, and practice that daily.
Practice it daily, yes. Yeah, so because even on your down days, you need to focus we're going to say at the beginning of every day, you look at what are you going to create, what are you going to be doing, what good you're going to be doing to the world.
Yeah.
Even if it's a Saturday or Sunday, I mean, you're still having positive influences on other people. So, okay, well, thank you for sharing that. Daniella, if the audience wanted to get a hold of you, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you? I know you live in Mexico City, so a lot of the listeners here are probably going to be in the United States. We might have some people in Canada and possibly people in Mexico.
Oh, amazing.
But what's the best way for them to get a hold of you? So you got a website or a business page on Facebook or LinkedIn or something?
Yes, I have. I have the website. So it's my complete name is Daniella with double L, Daniella Molina, MOLINA.com. So that's my webpage. And you can see like my philosophy, like what do I do, the workshops, and the what's my manifesto, which I love. And, like I'm a truth advocate. So I have this flag that truth and joy and love. Okay. And and how they can contact me, my email, through my email. So I'm the only one who goes into that email. I don't like any assistant or anything. I check that directly. So it's info, as in information, INFO, at Daniella Molina. So it's DANIELLA Molina, MOLINA.com. So
Okay.
there at I think in the contact link, it has like the spaces, and they can send me an email right away, and my phone also is there, so they can call me or send me a WhatsApp.
Okay. So again, that's her website is DanielleMolina.com, D as in dog, ANIELLA, Molina, MOLINA.com. Her email is info at the same website, the Daniella Molina.com, or you can go to her contact page on her website as well. Daniella, as we're about to wrap up here, any last words that you have for our guests before we go?
Wow. Well, it's been heard, but investing in ourselves is the best thing we can do to improve our lives. I cannot be more grateful for this opportunity with Kevin, and thank you for everyone for their time. Like, that's the only resource we don't get back more, or don't get more of. So thank you for this time, Destin, to listen to my voice and my words, whatever craziness I have to say, and trust your inner voice. That's the whole thing.
Okay. Well, trust your inner voice. Those are some great words there. Well, Daniella, I want to say thank you for being on the show. It's been a great pleasure. I'm going to love talking with you a little bit afterwards before we actually sign off completely. But again, for those of you that want to reach out to her, is at DanielleMolina.com. She's a life coach. She does also do workshops. Myself, also being a life and business coach, we have a lot of similarities, and maybe one day you and I could be sharing the same stage together, which I think would be
awesome.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Wow, let's make that real. Yeah, I would love that.
Okay. Well, everybody, excuse me. Everybody, thank you for tuning in today. And Daniella, it was a great pleasure having you here.
Thank you. Namaste. Namaste to all. Thank you.
Namaste. Goodbye, everybody.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Life's Little Lessons with your host, author of Designing Your Own Destiny, Kevin A. Dunlap. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit kevinadunlap.com, facebook.com/kevinadunlap.author, and on Twitter @Kevin A. Dunlap. We'll catch you on the next episode of Life's Little Lessons.